Bonjour, I'm Lori Roy, author of The Disappearing. I'm so excited to see the book hit shelves in France. Today I'd like to share a little bit of the inspiration behind The Disappearing. Florida history was a very important part of the inspiration for The Disappearing. I'm coming to you today from my home office here in Florida, where I've lived for the past 20 years. And this bookcase behind me was a starting point when it came to researching the Florida history that was of interest to me, specifically the Dozier School for Boys, which is a boys' reform school that operated in the northern part of the state of Florida for better than 100 years. And during that entire 100 years, there were allegations of horrific abuse, all of it aimed at very young boys who had been sent to the school over the years. And in all that time, and in no time since, has anyone ever been held accountable. This very sad chapter in Florida history was a great inspiration to The Disappearing, and this bookshelf is where I began my research. In addition to Florida history, the Florida swamp was a real inspiration to The Disappearing and very important to the plot of the book. Again, I turned to my bookshelf in my office as a starting point, but it was just that, only a starting point. I then went out into the swamps of North Florida and southern Georgia as well, and spent a good deal of time there getting to know what the swamps felt like, what they sounded like, what they smelled like. I got to know the feeling of the mud between my toes. That's the kind of detail that I love to bring to my work and what most inspires my books. A couple more things that really inspired The Disappearing, and I spent a great deal of time researching, are the small towns of the South as well as the architecture of the South. As to the small towns, I stopped and visited as many as I could, as many as I happened upon in my travels. I also visited a great many antebellum homes, any that I could gain access to, and antebellum home being one that was built before the Civil War, because one is featured prominently in the novel. And the thing that I love most about this kind of research is capturing the tiniest of details. I love bringing those to my work. I really think it brings it alive. And a good example of one of those tiny details is this glass doorknob and brass plate behind me. This is the door to my office in my home. And it's a doorknob and a brass plate just like this, which play a very significant role in The Disappearing, but I can't tell you any more than that or I'll give away some secrets. It's been a pleasure sharing the inspiration behind The Disappearing. Again, I'm so excited to see the book hit shelves in France. Thank you so much. I'm Lori Roy, author of The Disappearing.